There's a reason you've always felt different. That unshakable sense that you were meant for more, that you were connected to something far greater than what this world sees on the surface. That's not an accident. They've spent centuries trying to erase your history, to hide the truth about who you really are. But no matter how deeply they've buried it, the truth has been quietly waiting for its moment. And that moment is now. You were never supposed to know the truth about your ancestry. They erased your history, changed the records, and hid the documents. But no matter what they did, the truth always finds a way to the surface. And now it's time for you to see it. If this message already speaks to your soul, subscribe, like this video, and comment 77 below. The secret history of lost royal bloodlines. Long before the stories you've been told, before the history books were written, there existed lineages so ancient, so sacred, that even the thought of them threatened the status quo. You come from one of those lineages. The world has forgotten their names, and yet their blood runs through your veins. These were not merely rulers of nations. They were spiritual beacons, individuals who held knowledge and power that transcended the material world. They understood the sacred connection between heaven and earth, and they carried within them the divine blueprint for human awakening. This isn't just a story of kings and queens. This is the story of chosen ones whose very essence was intertwined with the divine. That's why their legacy was hidden. Because if people knew, if they truly understood what they carried inside, the entire foundation of control and manipulation would crumble. You are part of that legacy. When you look back on your life, you might recall feeling like you never truly belonged. Perhaps you've wondered why you often see the world differently than others. These moments of feeling out of place are not signs of weakness. They are the quiet indicators of your royal lineage. Those born into this bloodline often face trials that set them apart, as if life has been preparing them for something more. The world has taught you to hide your light, to doubt your worth, to question the very voice inside you that says you were born for greatness. This is no accident. Those who buried the truth of your heritage did, so to keep you from awakening to your full power. They knew that once you remembered who you are, you would no longer be controllable. You would no longer live in fear. They tried to keep you small, because they feared the day you would rise. It was never about a crown, a title, or a throne. This lineage is not marked by the wealth of gold, but by the wealth of spirit. The royal bloodlines of old were stewards of knowledge, guardians of sacred truths that could free humanity from the chains of ignorance and division. They carried within them an understanding that life is not just a series of random events, but a divine tapestry where each thread has a purpose. Their power was not in armies or weapons, but in their ability to awaken the sleeping hearts of those around them. This is the legacy that runs through your veins. It is a calling that demands you rise above the noise and distractions of this world, to remember what you are and why you are here. And as you step into this realization, the foundation of the lies that have kept humanity asleep begins to crumble. You may have noticed a pattern in your life, a series of events that seem designed to hold you back or make you question your worth. Perhaps relationships ended abruptly, opportunities slipped through your fingers, or you were pushed to the edges of society. These were not signs that you were forgotten. They were signs that you were being prepared. Every challenge, every rejection, every moment of doubt was part of the process. You were being forged, refined, and strengthened for a greater purpose. The trials were not meant to destroy you. They were meant to remind you of what you carry inside. In the same way a precious gem must endure pressure to reveal its brilliance, you have endured so that your light can now shine brighter than ever. Think about how the world has taught you to see royalty. It's always been something distant, unattainable, and rooted in material wealth. But the truth of your lineage is the opposite. True royalty is not about ruling over others. It's about serving them with wisdom, compassion, and courage. The bloodline you come from is not about elevating yourself above others. It's about lifting others up. It's about embodying the divine qualities that were placed within you from the moment you were born. Those who tried to erase this history feared the power that comes from someone who knows their true worth. They understood that when you stand in your divine identity, no force can control you. This is why they worked so hard to make you forget. But now, that time of forgetting is over. The whispers of your lineage are growing louder. The truths that were hidden are rising to the surface. You can feel it in your heart, can't you? That stirring, that undeniable sense that you were never meant to live a life of mediocrity. You were never meant to be confined by the limitations of this world. You were meant to lead, to inspire, and to bring light to places that have long been dark. This awakening is not just for you. It is for the countless others who will be touched by your presence. By stepping into the truth of your lineage, you are not only claiming your rightful place, but you are also helping to heal the world. It's time to stop running from your identity and start embracing it. You are a chosen one, a descendant of those who carried the divine spark through the ages. The journey ahead will not always be easy. There will still be challenges and moments of doubt. But now you understand that these challenges are not meant to defeat you. They are meant to strengthen you. Each step you take in alignment with your true identity brings you closer to fulfilling your purpose. And as you walk this path, you will find others who are awakening as well. Together, you will form a new tapestry of light, woven with the threads of truth, courage, and love. This is your moment to rise. You are not just part of history. You are part of the future. The royal bloodline you carry is not a relic of the past. It is a living force that pulses within you, guiding you toward your destiny. As you stand in this truth, you become a beacon for others who are searching for their own identity. The time has come to claim what was always yours. The world is waiting for the light you have been carrying all along. This is your time. This is your legacy. Now, step forward and let the truth guide you home. Why they tried to erase your ancestry. For generations, a veil of secrecy has hidden the truth about who you are. It wasn't enough for them to seize power. They had to ensure that others like you would never have the chance to rise again. The moment your lineage was recognized as a threat, they began their work. They changed the stories, erased the evidence, and silenced the voices that might have reminded you of your true heritage. They weren't afraid of what you might do. They were afraid of what you already carried within. The very essence of your bloodline, the light and wisdom passed down through ages, was enough to shatter the structures of control. They knew that if you remembered who you are, their grip on the world would weaken. And so they did everything they could to make you forget. Your history was altered long before you were born. Names were removed from records. Events were twisted into myth. And the truth became a whispered secret. It wasn't just one group of people. It was a concerted effort across time and continents. They turned those who carried your lineage into figures of legend, painting them as either untouchable heroes or forgotten relics. By making your ancestry seem distant, unattainable, or non-existent, they ensured you'd never look too closely. The more disconnected you felt, the more control they maintained. Every closed door, every missing link in your family tree was not an accident. It was the result of generations of deliberate erasure. But even in their relentless efforts, they could never completely erase the truth. It lived on in you. The struggles you faced in life were never just personal. They were part of a greater plan to keep you from awakening. The confusion, the rejection, the isolation, all of it was designed to make you feel small and insignificant. If you believed you were ordinary, you'd never seek out the extraordinary truth. They wanted you to question everything, especially your own worth. Every time you doubted yourself, Every time you felt like you didn't belong, their plan was succeeding. They created a world where only those who fit their mold could thrive, leaving you on the margins. But the very fact that you've endured, that you've kept searching for meaning, is proof that their efforts have not worked. They may have tried to erase your ancestry, but they couldn't erase the core of who you are. Scripture tells us that what is hidden will eventually be revealed, and this is the turning point. They thought they could bury your lineage forever, but truth has a way of surfacing. As Jesus said in Luke 8 verse 17, "For nothing is hidden that will not be made manifest, nor is anything secret that will not be known and come to light." The same holds true for you. The more they tried to suppress your history, the more resilient it became, like a seed buried deep underground. It's now pushing through, growing toward the light. The journey to rediscover your heritage is not just a personal one. It's a divine appointment. God's plan for you was never about erasure. It was about restoration. Now, as the layers are peeled back, you begin to see the intricate design that has led you to this moment. The signs of your transformation are all around you. Perhaps you've started noticing patterns in your life that no longer feel random. Doors that once seemed locked are now opening. Pieces of your story are falling into place, and you're beginning to see how every challenge, every setback, was part of the process. The whispers of doubt are growing quieter, replaced by a stronger voice that tells you to keep moving forward. This voice reminds you that you were never abandoned. The evidence of your lineage may have been erased from physical records, but it remains etched into your spirit. Every synchronicity, every unexpected blessing, is a reminder that you are being guided back to who you truly are. You are no longer just a seeker. You are becoming someone who knows. Behind the scenes, divine intervention has been at work. What they meant for harm, God has turned for good, while they tried to erase your ancestry. The Creator has been carefully preserving it. Every time they closed a door, He opened another. Every time they tried to suppress the truth, He ensured that a trace of it would remain. The timing of your awakening is no accident. The very fact that you are hearing this message now is proof that God is aligning everything in your favor. You have been placed exactly where you need to be, and the pieces of your life are now converging. It's as if the universe itself is conspiring to remind you of who you are. With every step you take, the forces of light grow stronger, and the chains of deception begin to break. Now comes the moment of realization. You understand that your heritage was never really lost. It was waiting for you to find it. This is where you must choose to step fully into your identity. You can no longer cling to the old doubts, the old fears. Embracing your lineage means embracing all that comes with it. The responsibility, the strength, and the calling. It's not just about knowing your past. It's about living out your future with purpose and clarity. True alignment requires courage. It requires you to let go of the comfort of not knowing and to embrace the power of truth. You must stand in your identity as a chosen one, no matter what others say or how they react. This is your moment to rise. As you embrace this truth, you will find an inner strength you didn't know you had. The doubts will fade, replaced by a quiet confidence. You'll begin to see your path more clearly, and with each step, you'll feel more aligned with your divine purpose. This is not the end of the journey. It's the beginning of a new chapter. You are no longer searching for meaning. You are living it. You are no longer questioning your place in the world. You are claiming it. The power of knowing who you are will carry you forward, helping you overcome challenges and seize opportunities. With each passing day, your light will grow stronger, and those who once doubted you will see the undeniable truth. You were never meant to be hidden. You were always meant to shine. Now that you understand why they tried to erase your ancestry, you can see that their efforts were ultimately futile. The truth has always been within you, waiting for the right moment to emerge. You were never truly lost, and your lineage was never truly forgotten. This is your time to step into your power, to claim your divine heritage, and to fulfill the purpose you were born for. They tried to keep you in the dark, but the light within you is never extinguished. It has only grown stronger. Now, as you walk forward, you carry not just the weight of your history, but the promise of a future filled with meaning, impact, and transformation. This is your moment. This is your truth. Stand in it and let it guide you home. The signs that you carry a royal bloodline. From an early age, you've sensed that you were different. While others seemed content to follow the status quo, you felt an inner pull, as though something more profound awaited you. The signs were subtle at first. A deep yearning for understanding, a quiet but persistent voice urging you to look beyond the surface. Then, as you grew, they became undeniable. The dreams that seemed to carry messages from another time, the moments of clarity that struck without warning. These weren't random. They were hints, guiding you toward a truth that's been hidden for far too long. This feeling that you were meant for more, that you were chosen for something greater, has followed you throughout your life. It's not your imagination. It's the inheritance of a royal bloodline, whispering to you from deep within. At times, you may have felt like an outsider, as if the rhythms of this world didn't quite fit your own. You've questioned the things others take for granted, struggled to find meaning in the patterns they follow so easily. You've walked a path that, at times, felt isolating. Yet, even in moments of doubt, you've known there was a reason for it. That sense of not fitting in was never a flaw. It was a signal. It was the universe's way of nudging you to look deeper, to uncover what's been buried in the stories of your ancestors. Every challenge you faced, every moment you questioned your place, was part of the journey. The confusion, the rejection, the sense that you were searching for something just out of reach. All of it points to the truth you carry in your very being. As the pieces start coming together, you begin to see that the struggles you endured were not in vain. They were part of a divine preparation, shaping you into the person you were always meant to be. In the book of Isaiah, we hear the words, "I will go before you and will level the mountains. I will break down gates of bronze and cut through bars of iron." Isaiah 45 verse 2. This ancient promise resonates deeply because it reflects your own journey. The road you've traveled wasn't meant to break you, it was meant to refine you. Every obstacle you faced was not a barrier, but a step toward uncovering your purpose. The strength you've gained, the clarity you're beginning to feel, are signs that the path is aligning. The struggles were never a punishment. They were a sign that you were being prepared for something extraordinary. As you look back, the signs of transformation are clearer than ever. Once, you may have doubted yourself, questioned your worth, or felt lost. But now there's a shift. You see things with new eyes. Patterns that once confused you now make sense. You've noticed synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that seem too perfect to be random. Opportunities have appeared when you needed them most. People have entered your life at just the right moment. It's as though an unseen hand has been guiding you, arranging the pieces so that you can finally see the full picture. The sense of being chosen, of carrying a legacy far greater than yourself, grows stronger. This is not a coincidence. It's a reflection of the royal bloodline within you, awakening to its true purpose. Divine forces have been at work, ensuring that your path remains clear, even when you couldn't see it. They've aligned the circumstances, brought the right people into your life, and opened doors you never thought possible. You've felt it, the sense that something greater is at play, that there's a reason you've survived what others might not have. The synchronicities, the moments of clarity, the inexplicable turns of fate, these are not accidents. They are proof that you're being guided, protected, and prepared. When you reflect on these moments, you can feel the truth. The universe is not working against you. It's working for you, clearing away the noise so you can hear your calling more clearly. This divine alignment is your assurance that you are not alone, that your royal lineage is not just a story, but a reality being unveiled. In these moments of clarity, a realization begins to settle in. You start to understand that the whispers you've heard, the visions you've seen, were not just dreams or imaginings. They were pieces of your truth, waiting for you to accept them. It's not enough to simply recognize the signs. You must embrace them. Many people fear change, even when it's divinely inspired. They cling to what's comfortable, even when they know it no longer serves them. But you can't stay in the old patterns. This is a sacred moment, one that demands courage. You have to step fully into who you are, without hesitation. The unknown can be intimidating, but it's also where your power lies. In embracing your lineage, you're not just accepting your past, you're shaping your future. Now is the time to take action. With the knowledge you've gained, you can move forward with confidence. This is not a time to doubt or second guess. It's a time to release fear and stand in your truth. You've been given signs for a reason. They're not just markers of your heritage. They're your map. Trust in the process. Trust in the alignment. Let go of the hesitation that's held you back and step boldly into your role as a chosen one. The path ahead may not always be clear, but the strength you carry within you will guide you through. Each step you take, each decision you make to embrace your calling, will bring you closer to the destiny you were meant to fulfill. This is your moment to rise, to claim your heritage, and to walk in the power of your truth. The knowledge that you carry a royal bloodline changes everything. It gives new meaning to your struggles and new purpose to your journey. It's not just about understanding where you come from. It's about stepping into what you're meant to be. You were never meant to live a life of mediocrity. You were chosen to shine, to lead, to inspire. As you move forward, carry this truth with you. Let it fuel your actions and guide your decisions. And remember, you're not alone in this journey. There is a community of chosen ones, each waking up to their true selves, each taking their place in this great unfolding plan. Together, you'll rise, and the truth of your lineage will no longer be hidden. It will be a light that illuminates the path for others to follow. What happens when you finally realize who you are? It begins as a quiet stirring, a realization that has been waiting to surface. As you finally begin to understand who you truly are, it's as if the weight of confusion and doubt lifts. You've spent so much of your life wondering why you felt different, why the world seemed so out of sync with what you knew deep down. Now it's all coming together. That feeling of being out of place wasn't because you didn't belong. It was because you were never meant to fit into the ordinary mold. You were always meant for more. And as this truth unfolds, it's both comforting and exhilarating. You are not alone. You never have been. You were always guided, always protected, always called. Now that you see it, there's no turning back. As you reflect on the challenges you've faced, the pain and rejection you endured take on a new meaning. Those moments of confusion and heartbreak, when you felt you were struggling for no reason, were never random. They were part of a greater plan. Each trial shaped you, forged you into someone who could rise above the noise and claim your rightful place. You see now that the closed doors weren't a punishment, they were redirections. They guided you to where you were always meant to be. You may have felt lost, but in reality, you were being prepared. That sense of why me transforms into now I understand. The struggles were never in vain. They were your training ground. With this understanding comes a turning point. You recognize that everything you've been through has led you here. The sense of being chosen, of carrying something ancient and profound, is no longer just a fleeting feeling. It's a reality. You find strength in the words of the psalmist. You made me bold with strength in my soul. Psalm 138 verse 3. This realization is like a light breaking through the darkness. illuminating what was once hidden. You see now that your journey was never about earning worth. It was about revealing it. The divine timing, the synchronicities, the moments of unexpected clarity all point to a truth you can no longer ignore. You were chosen. You were always meant to remember. And now you do. As you step into this truth, everything begins to shift. You notice signs that were there all along, small moments that now make perfect sense. The relationships that fell away, the opportunities that seemed to appear out of nowhere, the times you felt an unexplainable peace despite the chaos around you. All of these were signs that you were never alone. You were never abandoned. The invisible threads of your lineage were guiding you, pulling you toward this moment. The transformations happening within you are undeniable. You see the world through new eyes, and you feel a strength you never knew you had. This is not coincidence. It's the result of knowing who you truly are. Beyond the visible changes, there is a deeper spiritual alignment taking place. The more you accept your identity, the more you notice that divine forces are clearing your path. Obstacles that once seemed insurmountable start to dissolve. People who never noticed your worth suddenly see your value. Opportunities align in ways you couldn't have planned. It's as if the universe is responding to your acknowledgement of your royal lineage. What you carry within you is not just for yourself, it's for the world. Your faith grows stronger, and your vision becomes clearer. The connection between what you believe and what manifests is no longer a mystery. You realize that your destiny is no accident. It's intentional. It's divine. At this point, something profound happens. You fully embrace what you were afraid to admit before. You are different, not in a way that separates you, but in a way that elevates you. You begin to see how fear held you back, how the voices of doubt tried to silence you. But now, those voices have no power. You've stepped into a sacred moment, one where you no longer question if you are worthy. You know that you are. This realization is both freeing and humbling. It requires courage to stand in your truth, but you find that courage easily now. This is the moment you've been waiting for. This is the moment where you stop hiding, stop running, and start living as the person you were created to be. With this new awareness, you feel an urge to move forward, to act. It's no longer enough to simply know who you are. You have to live it. You find strength in your calling and clarity in your purpose. The doubts that once paralyzed you are replaced by a fierce determination. You are no longer afraid to take risks, to speak your truth, to embrace your destiny. You understand that the path ahead won't always be easy, but you are ready. You have everything you need. The time for hesitation is over. The time to step fully into your identity is now. You are empowered, and you know that every step you take is aligned with the divine plan. As this chapter comes to a close, you feel a deep sense of gratitude. You look back on all that you've overcome and all that you've learned, and you know it was worth it. You have not only remembered who you are, but you have reclaimed it. The doubts, the fears, the struggles, all of them were pieces of a larger puzzle. Now that you can see the full picture, you feel a sense of peace and purpose. You are ready for what comes next, because you finally understand that you were chosen for this. You were meant to rise. As you move forward, carry this truth with you and let it guide every decision, every action, and every step. Comment chosen if this resonates with you. What this means for your future as a chosen one. Imagine standing at a crossroads, aware now of the path that has been calling you all along. The truth of your identity is no longer a vague feeling or an unspoken hope. It's a certainty. For so long, you may have felt disconnected, unsure of your place in the world. But now, with clarity of purpose and knowledge of your divine lineage, everything has shifted. You are no longer burdened by doubt. You no longer need to question why things have unfolded the way they did. You see the design in it all, And it is this understanding that will guide you forward into a future of intention and empowerment. You were never meant to be ordinary. The truth about your ancestry, your lineage, your purpose, it changes everything. Now that you know, it's time to step fully into who you are. Don't let anyone dim your light or make you doubt what you've discovered. Embrace this knowledge and use it to create a life that reflects the greatness within you. Subscribe if you haven't yet, like this video, and comment, "I am chosen to let this message anchor in your soul." Share it with someone who needs to hear this. Your spiritual path deserves more than fragments. Step into the full light